G'day guys, it's Ralph here, and today we're talking about capacity. And capacity, to talk about that, I want to talk about this thing. You see this? This is my bar that I've made, and you might have to watch some other videos to get a bit more of a picture about what it is, but this is my repurposed front door. So when we first moved into this house about 6 years ago, this was the front door, and it was falling apart. It had gone past its day, and it was no longer satisfactory as a front door. And so I took it off and cut it down and stripped it down, and it's now our bar. So the interesting thing is, this bit of wood, this bar wasn't made to be a bar, it was made to be a front door. And it worked really well. It was its whole self as a front door. Now it's a part of itself, and it's occupying a less than full role of its calling. So it had the capacity to be a front door, but it wasn't looked after, and as a result of that, it became lesser than what it was and has more of a redundant role. That's still helpful, but not what it was made to be. You see, leaders, we have the same life cycle if we're not careful. And I think one of the ways that we can be careful about that is looking after our capacity. Now, when you talk about capacity to someone, they might say, this is my coffee. Delicious. So they might say, as a leader, you have this much capacity, right? And it's really important to operate out of your full capacity. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. You just gotta give it all you've got. You've got to make sure you pour yourself out completely for Jesus. You just gotta use up every bit that God puts in, and then you return to God and fill it. But here's what I've discovered, and this is what I see in Jesus' life. You know, he never was tired. Yes, he grieved. Yes, he needed space from the crowds, but he never seemed overwhelmed, did he? He never seemed like the weight of ministry was just crushing the life out of him. No, instead he always had more to give. He always had a space of capacity that he could reach into when it was really needed. It's like he only ever operated on 80% of his capacity, so that he had another 20% in reserve when he really needed it. Because there are times in leadership, right, where we really, really need it. And my encouragement to you, to every other leader, is to work out what your 80% is and nestle in there. And the 80% in ministry is, I could still give more if I wanted to. I've still got more in the tank if I needed to go far. I finish my day or that mission or that opportunity, I still have energy. I'm not completely wiped out. I can still offer some more. You've still got 20% in the tank, right? And so you keep using it. You keep going up. Using all your 80%, then you back it up. You use all your 80%, you back it up. But you've always got a spare 20% that's always there for those extra things and times and moments and situations when you need it. Because then you really, really need it, right? And if you don't have it, that's when you damage yourself. And if you operate ministry, your role of ministry out of your 100%, you cannot do that forever. You become like a front door that stops being effective as a front door and gets made redundant to the bar at the back. You're not made to operate on 100% of this and to be filled again. You're meant to operate on 80% that gets filled again with a 20% buffer. So when situations come where you have to really pour yourself out, when you go, gosh, there's not much more to give, that's when you can give it. And so have a think about the way your week and your day is structured. It's very easy as a younger leader, if you are, to go hard and pull yourself out utterly and completely and be so exhausted and do that time and time again, and you're destined for burnout before you even really get started. And take it from me, I used to be like that. But if you run at 80%, that 20% buffer is glorious because you get to enjoy it. You get to enjoy life. You get to enjoy the blessings of God and the nature and the person of God. And at the same time, you have something in your back pocket when you need it, when you need to go deep, when you need to stretch yourself and extend yourself. Now, some of you out there, you're not even operating anywhere near 80%. You're more like 50%. Come on, fire up. Extend, stretch your capacity, but all of you don't exceed the 80% on a daily or weekly basis, because you need that spare 20%. I hope this has been helpful, and my face is now like shining like an angel. Not that I'm an angel in any way, shape or form, but I'm going to put some questions up now for you to enjoy and get stuck into. See you later.